Hi, my name's David Linton, and today I want to talk to you about scanning for stocks with the best upside potential. And remembering with the targets, you can just hit the T key on any chart and it will put the price targets on you. This is an old point and figure technique brought into the modern age by putting the chart targets on time-based charts. And in fact, this is a chart, a stock I own myself. I bought the breakout based on these targets back here, and I'm looking at these multiple targets. And the key thing about multiple targets is that if you have more than one target, two targets almost means that it's twice as likely to meet the targets. The more targets you have, the better. And so what we're always looking for is this train tracks with targets. So you can actually scan for these, and I want to show you how to do that. Now, before we do look at scanning, a little bit about data services. Now, of course, Updata runs on dozens of different data services, and you can just look at the data service that Updata compatible with in the data menu here, and you can just click in the data services that you already have, and they could be corporate services like Bloomberg or Icon, but I'm just looking at some of the end of day data services and the lower cost data services, and these are they. And there's this list here. And I do like using Metastock end of day data service. It's pretty low cost, only $27 a month, and I can scan pretty much any stock in the world through global lists, and I find that really, really valuable. It's also quite good because their code notation matches up with Metastock Zenith and with Icon, so that's also really, really valuable to do scans on end of day data, and then on on real time data if you want to go deeper. So Update is compatible with all these different services with things like TradingView, but what you'll find is a lot of these data services have limits in terms of how much data you can pull in. So you need to be aware where the data limits are not there, and that's where some of the end of day services are really, really good, because you can scan large universes of stocks. You can do that on Icon, you can do it on Metastock Zenith, you can do it on Metastock end of day, but some of them do have scanning limits where you're making big data requests. Now, the scanning in Updata is really, really powerful, and I just want to show you how that works. So you go to scanning and alerts. We're going to create a new scan, and what we're going to do is we're going to scan for multiple targets. You can see there's lots of different things you can scan for, but I want multiple targets, and I'm just going to go for 2 targets. You could go for more if you wanted, and I want future targets only. I don't want to know about the past. I want upside targets, and that's really pretty much it. I want activated targets. I don't want to know about unactivated targets, and I'm using 2 to 1 as my slope, the speed of the target. This will all become a bit clear when we run the scan. And the unit price I'm using is 0.5% log scale. That's my preferred unit on daily charts. So I've added that condition. I'm going to save and run this. I'm just going to call it AAA2 so that it's quick in my list, and then I'm going to scan. I want to scan the S&P 500. So we're going to scan that list. And because the data is cached in Updata, it's really, really super quick. You can see it's already run through 100 of those 500 stocks, scanning for multiple targets. So it's just running through the data and crunching the data. The sort of thing that a computer can do in a couple of minutes would take you forever to try and do, and then to go through every single stock scrolling, which you could do if you wanted, but it's just that speed at which you can scroll through the list, and that's the really valuable thing. And don't forget, we're looking for multiple targets upside on the list, so it's going to be really quite key. And we're just nearly through the list, and here are the results. Now, the results screen is really interesting, and you can also set a limit. You could say I only want stocks that have got more than 20% upside, but I like to look at all the charts. There's 38 stocks in the S&P 500 that have got upside targets, multiple upside targets, 2 or more. And what's really interesting is these columns here. So this is the last target. You can scan by the last target price, the percentage to the target. So I can click there and it will give me the percentage to the target. Let's just open the stocks, and this little button up here just zooms. So you can see there's 2 targets here, but age of the target. Now that's an interesting one. So these are the targets that are given most recently. So this one's just been given. And so these are age of the targets. As you can see there, just some fantastic looking charts, and we can just literally go through and find the ones that this is Oracle. Notice how those previous targets were met. This downside target not looking likely now at all, because we're back through the cloud, new upside targets. That's what's key. This one here is the percentage to the target and the percentage from now. So this is really interesting. If I maximize that, this one has the most percentage to gain. And we've got 3 targets here. This one has the most percentage to gain into the future based on that percentage per period. Number of periods from activation, so that was the most, how long ago were they activated, so that's also interesting. And number of periods into the future, which ones are going to be met first. So we can just go and look through this data, and you can see here it's a really good way of drilling down. So this one, no big surprises, with a little breakout there. Not much upside, 5 or 6%, but we do have multiple targets there, and you can literally go through these ones and click it. But probably the one I like the most is how long ago was the target given, and literally going through these and seeing the new targets. So and you can do this every day, of course. So here we see Nvidia has just given a new upside target. Who would have thought? So that's really, really very interesting indeed, isn't it? We've got Procter & Gamble here. Interesting one here, sideways move, breaking higher. Now you could run this scan on large universes, and I do that. I run this on large universes overnight every day, and I've got my list, and I like to just go through. It's finding the opportunities for me. Another new upside target on Airbnb. That target was given 6 days ago, and that's really fascinating. Another 37% upside. And you'll notice that in the S&P 500, there's only 38 stocks with these upside targets. So you really are narrowing it down to the ones that look best. So it's a great way of going through and just looking at the target. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you've not tried this in Updata already, do give it a go. And you can run it pretty much on any of the data services that you're already using. So why not give it a try? I've just loved this way of finding new stocks to buy.